Hey guys, Maury here again. One of the most asked questions I get from just being around the hobby is, who do you use and how do you ship a car? Because I know I've shipped a lot of cars over the last few years. Great question. There's a number of ways you can go, and some of the questions I usually come back and ask the person is, how expensive is the car? That's kind of first and foremost. If it's a really nice car, my answer is different. And then how far is it going? So if it's local or state, within the state, a little bit different. But if it's going cross country, there's a lot of variables to take into account. So first and foremost, if it's a really nice car, I always say, make sure it's enclosed, because you have a couple options. You can go uncovered versus enclosed. So if it's a nice car, you don't want any of the elements go enclosed. It will cost you probably 3 to 4 times as much money enclosed versus unenclosed, but that's always the way to go. And again, if it's a nicer car, I would obviously say one of the bigger companies. I'm not going to name names at this point. You can always reach out and we'll give you specifics, but the higher end, they're more expensive, but they do give you some features that the less expensive people don't, including tracking and timelines, which sometimes are important. If you have flexibility, that also can influence the pricing. So a lot of these companies look at it from a standpoint of how soon you need it. They like to fill the trucks. So if you have a little bit of play on that side from a seller holding a car for you, you can get a better rate. So that's another feature to think about. And then lastly, brokerage versus a big company. So there's a lot of shipping brokers out there where you basically say, I've got a car I bought, I need to have it shipped in the next week, and it's got to go from New York to California. And they will do the heavy lifting to help you find a trucker that's available. Those are by far the least expensive options. They typically are anywhere from 30 to 50% less than the big companies. And you have some compromises with that. You don't know specifically who the company is they're getting. You don't know who the driver is. You don't know the timeline. So again, if it's a car that a driver quality car that is not as important from a standpoint of what happens, could, scratches, stuff, that's the way to go. And then again, they can organize enclosed and or unenclosed. So I think, big picture, nice car, and longer distance, it's better to go with a well-known brand. Less expensive, less distance. You can get away with a broker doing it, and or you can do that as well. Go online and you can fill in forms and they'll do it for you. So those are my answers that I usually give people. But again, feel free to give us a ring directly, and I'll tell you who are our preferred providers that we use on our cars, and go from there. Thanks much.